Hey everybody, this is Dusty Grun with Limitless Ministries. We've been gone the whole month of June almost at youth camps doing preteen, teen, and just got back from a camp on the beach. Met some great people, made some new friends, got to spend a lot of time with old friends, but listen, God showed up in major ways at every camp. Lives were saved, lives were rededicated, people surrendered to the ministry. Kids and adults alike, lives were changed and God moved, and this is just the start of summer. Remain in prayer for what God's going to do through the remainder of youth camps throughout the world over the next couple of months. We've had a lot of windshield time the past couple of days, and I want to talk to you about a question I get asked a lot. I get asked, well, these kids go to youth camp and they get fired up, then they come back and it only lasts a couple of days or a couple of weeks and it's back to normal. And the more I think about this, we suffer from a problem within our churches today. We teach our kids more about entertainment than we do an encounter with Christ. And what do I mean by that? And I don't want you to think that I'm knocking your church, because if your church can mix the entertainment aspect as well as not neglecting the encounters with Christ, and more power to you. You're doing what you're called to do. However, I've seen many churches that focus on the light shows and the rock concerts and the games for the kids, and taking the kids to do this and having the kids do these games and taking them to these concerts, that our kids are getting the wrong perception. They're thinking that they go to church to be entertained and to have fun only. And if they might have an encounter with Christ, then that's just kind of how it works. And that's the problem in the disconnect with youth camps. They go and they have an encounter with Christ, but when they get back, it's not followed up upon. They go back to the entertainment stage. So I'm going to talk to you today from Matthew chapter 9. And this is after the leader of the synagogue, whose daughter had died, and he came to Jesus and said, if you just come lay hands on her, she'll be healed and she'll come back to life. And Jesus and them were about to leave and go to this man's house. We're going to pick up in verse 20. It says, just then a woman who had suffered for 12 years from constant bleeding came up behind him. She touched the fringe of his robe, for she thought, if I can just touch his robe, I will be healed. And Jesus turned around, and when he saw her, he said, daughter, be encouraged. Your faith has made you well. And the woman was healed at that moment. Many people came to see Jesus over the course of his ministry. They came to check him out, if you would, to see what he was about, or just to be in the crowd, to be entertained by the miracles he might perform. Maybe they weren't expecting anything other than the entertainment of seeing miracles right before their own eyes. And that's what I'm talking about in church today. Do you go to church for entertainment, or are you like this woman who had been suffering for 12 years, excuse me, and she knew that if she could have an encounter with Christ, if she could just touch the hem of his garment, that her faith in that, knowing that Jesus would heal her just by that touch. Do we have that kind of faith? Is that what we're expecting when we come to church, to have that encounter with Christ, for him to heal the things in our lives? Or are we just coming to punch our card and to listen to some good music and a great speaker, and then it's just back onto our week as it always is? We need to teach our kids that you need to be expecting. You need to be praying ahead of time. Before you even get to the church building, you need to be praying that Jesus will move in a mighty way, that you have a mighty encounter every time you set foot in your church. That you have a mighty encounter every time your family sits down and discusses something from church or has your devotional time. We need to be expecting great things, that whenever we come in the presence of Christ Jesus, that he can do major things in our lives. If he so chooses. We need to be praying that he'll fix the problems that are within us, that we not want to be entertained anymore, that we want to have an encounter so we can go out and share his love with people around us, to reach those around us who maybe have never had an encounter with Christ, that we can bring them into our churches and in our surroundings and show them what the love of God really is, not to entertain them, but to show them the one true healer, the man that can heal all their problems, who can save their souls. We need to be focused on encounters with Christ, not entertainment. So I pray that the next time you go into church, you don't look at the band. You don't look at the pastor. You listen to the words of the songs, and you listen to the message, and have that encounter that Christ is intending for you to have, that whenever you walk away, you're built up. You're ready to face the world. You're recharged to go out and face the fiery darts of Satan and spread the love of Christ. You'll have a good day.